All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are into draft for game two. So how LHG works is the losing team has side selection for game two, and Dreadnought opted into blue side again. That's why they are on the same sides, and we see similar bands starting off in this game two.
Yeah, interested to see what Dreadnought is going to want to do to change up here. And right away, they do come in with the Olaf ban, just not willing to let that happen to them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Olaf's pretty hard pick to deal with, especially when you pair it with supportive picks and you have nice winning lanes.
Yeah. Now that Olaf ban, using bans on stuff like Olaf with Fallen Artemis is certainly going to be dangerous because he's a big carry jungler player. He's got a big pool of other champions who's willing to play, like that Lilia that gets banned here. So even if he does take the Graves here, we might start to see some interesting counter picks.
The 3 ban on Fallen Artemis. Interesting.
All right, and into the Ashe, first pick. All right.
Do they handshake the Caitlyn?
You would think they've got to. You would think Twisty's just kind of... Could also... Jhin works into Ashe. You can go for the Jhin again if you're feeling yourself, but...
Just taking Varus. Interesting. I was going to say Caitlyn Morgana maybe here. Or Varus is just locked in.
What patch is this? I don't...
Is this 10.15 again?
It's...
10.12. Poke Varus is back.
I was even gonna suggest the Senna, maybe, perhaps the Ezreal, but...
Ooh, and that is gonna be the Graves pick for Fallen Artemis now. It's stolen away from Dreadnought Blaze, and certainly a scary pick.
Yeah, interesting. We'll have to see if the Dreadnought's change-up pays off for them. Last time they banned the Ashe, this time they first pick it. So, we'll have to see.
Banned out quite a few of the best picks into Graves here, so they're just going to default to the Vi or the Zac? Oh. All right, it's going to be a Zac pick here out of Warwick.
Yeah, I do kind of like the Zac. Engaged tanks are pretty good right now in the meta, I feel. Not really going to be able to match up against the Graves in a 1v1, but we'll be able to affect his lanes and try and get the team fights rolling in their favor.
Yeah. Dreadnought full committing to a hard engage comp here between the Zac, the Galio, and the Ashe, just going to be trying to hard engage 5-on-5 team fights from very far away.
Lock in the Shen.
Yeah, Shen certainly seems like it could help here. Going to help defend against some of that engage. Maybe some disengage to try to back away from what they're... Oh!
Though Malzahar is locked in. No shot. Ivar predicted it from the wrong game.
Poggers.
Well, it doesn't matter. Ivar's dreams have come true. And the Mordekaiser ban coming through again.
Does the Malzahar do good into the Galio?
It's
I'm not even sure the Galio is mid lane. It could be Galio support.
True. Yeah. Could
definitely once again. Actually, not quite one of the things that Pixie would generally play. Pixie a bit more of an enchanter player, but something you got to keep in the back of your mind. Yorick ban.
If the Malzahar can farm without using his E, this lane is phenomenal. But if you rely on your E and W to farm as Malzahar, you lose this lane very, very, very badly.
Ooh, the Fiora ban, quite scared of that 0.1 second 4 vital proc that everybody saw on Reddit the other day.
Oh no, the Toad special.
Ooh, it's going to be the big Alistar pick out of Golden Toad. He is a massive Alistar player, by far his most played, and certainly going to be something that Dreadnought needs to be worried about coming into this lane without their support picked. By the way, definitely can't be Galio support anymore, I don't think. I don't think you can play Galio support into Alistar. It just feels rough.
Sorry.
Yeah, don't think so.
Alright, it's going to be a Shen pick for Ridley Prime this time. So, Shen switching sides onto Dreadnought Blaze. And we're going to expect a support pick here from Pixie.
Yeah, he has his pick of litter for support counters, so...
There's definitely stuff you can pick into Alistar. You can outskill it with something like a Thresh. Oh, it is the Galio support.
Yeah.
we have seen that Hip Optimus Prime has been playing that Kennen mid lane. That is something that he's pulled out before. So it's going to be that against Malzahar. I know very little about this matchup. It's certainly non-standard.
Yeah, definitely not one I've seen before. That's for sure. But
here's top lane counterpick against the Shen. What does Blood King take into it? Does he dodge the lobby?
Oh, Vi. I don't think that's a Vi.
That's a mispick. All right, we've dodged the lobby. We're
Unfortunate. Client crashed.
Client crashed.
Looks like we got a bit of an issue from Omega Gaming Syndicate. Toad's probably gonna have to fix his client, and then we'll probably, I'm assuming we're gonna jump back into Champ Select, redo picks same as they were.
Yeah. The top lane Vi Dream's gonna be crushed for everybody. Sorry to anybody who was looking forward to that. It's not the Shen counter you would hope it is.
If my top laner's out there watching, I'm sorry, buddy. It's just not a pick.
If Optimus Prime is right on the case, though, he knows. He knows that that was an intentional Vi pick after all. And that they're really just deciding to keep it secret. Humming through. Luckily, we do have the stream VOD here for integrity. We all know how those picks went. We all watched them happen. Oh, no memory games at play here.
Yep. Will be interesting to see how Blood King uses his counter pick once we do get back into the lobby.
Yeah, let's talk about some Shen counters here. So the Yorick is banned, so it won't be the Yorick again.
As well as the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser is also pretty good in the Shen, as far as I know.
Yeah, both bans actually directed at Ridley Prime, but now Ridley's going to be the one playing this Shen. So you gotta wonder. The Vlad is already banned, which is going to be one of Blood King's big picks. I assume his namesake. Blood King also a big Jax player, but Jax probably not the best pick into Shen. I just feel like Spirit's Refuge really would interrupt a lot of your all-ins there.
Yeah, there is the GP available, which, can do well into the Shen, can match the global pressure from the Shen ulti with his own ultimate, but
certainly an option.
Yep.
All right, and we're back in a champion select. They're just going to be going through these picks same as before. Ooh, a spicy pick into Shen could be the Silas.
Oh yeah.
One of the more interesting picks you can take against globals is another way to match it with your own global is by taking the Silas, stealing away that global ultimate, and using that to follow with the pressure.
Yeah, I've seen that before in my solo queue before, and it's definitely worked well against me, so could be something that Syndicate use here.
For sure. All right. Well, okay, it's going to be the Maokai? It seems like everybody's just picking their own champs.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're going to be just handshaking the tank v tank matchup. I don't know if I like the Maokai pick here. I feel like Shen is one of the better tanks in the tank v tank matchups. Him and Cho'Gath, I feel like, are the two that really come to mind. Just Shen able to pull through the sword, get the percentage health damage, being able to deal both some magic and some physical damage in the kit. It's just hard to lane against his other tanks.
Yeah, I definitely agree, but I don't think. I think the idea that Syndicate is going for is they just need another tank in the top lane to supplement the rest of their team.
Yeah, it's certainly for synergy. And also, it is that disengage that we were talking about with such a hard engage comp coming out of Dreadnought Blaze. You certainly having something like the Maokai to just throw down the grasping roots as you're running away from that team. It's going to do a lot to prevent some of the backliners from following up on that engage. Even if Zac is jumping in with a Shen ultimate, the roots are coming across your team and threatening to keep that Ashe and Kennen from being able to do anything, it's going to be a much less effective team fight.
Yeah, and as you say, for disengage, they do have a lot of tools for it now. The Verisalty, before I wasn't looking at it as being too good of a pick, but it looks pretty good now into the comp that uh, Dreadnought has assembled here.
Yeah, definitely looks like on paper Dreadnought might have shown their hand a little too early by going for this Zach Ash Galio trio with the first round. It's just a lie. It's shown that they were going for this heavy engage comp, and it's allowed at pretty much every level of their team comp. In hindsight, Omega Gaming Syndicate has just gone for these heavy disengage options that are so difficult to dive onto in the way that they want to. You're going to have Graves smoke screen coming down. You're going to have those grasping roots we talked about, the threat of Malzahar ultimate, the Varus ultimate, Alistair there headbutting people away and pulverizing people as they try to approach. Fighting this team in any kind of corridor or in the jungle is just going to be a nightmare.
Yeah. As well on the other side, Dreadnought do have their own zoning controls, AoE abilities with the Cannon and the Galio combination. Could be very effective. We'll just have to see how these teams play it out.
All right.
And
Do you want to cut it to a quick break, guys?
Sure.
yeah, sure.
We'll cut it to a quick break while we wait out the spectator delay. We will be loading onto the Rift here shortly, and we'll go into game 2 here. Bear with us, guys.
All right, hello everybody. We are back with Game 2 of Dreadnought Blaze versus Omega Gaming Syndicate. Omega Gaming Syndicate currently up 1-0 in this series.
Yep, and we're just starting off the game with another standard 5-point. Some bit of BM coming out.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Malzahar E. It's gonna be the Malefic Visions onto the Zac. That's an early advantage. We count those.
Yeah, we count those, especially since he did take mana flow ban. That's a bit of mana to
And
add to
the sad Zoe emo, that's a mental advantage.
Yeah.
Other than that, same level one that we saw last game, just your standard spread.
Yeah, standard spread, nothing too crazy going on. They don't want to risk blowing the game, flipping it on a level 1, perhaps costing them too big of an advantage by invading.
Certainly. And once again, interesting rune choice here we can see out of Optimus Prime. He's going for both the Electrocute and the Ignite on the Kenna, and those are both, I would think, some non-standard choices.
Yeah, definitely an aggressive setup for him there. So looking to maybe get a lead in lane on the Malzahar, trying to get some solo kills perhaps, get some revenge back onto Texi.
You'd hope so, but you gotta feel like this is a farm lane in mid. I just don't see how either of these champions have kill pressure on each other. Maybe once they hit 6, somebody can do something silly, but seems like it's going to be some farming out lanes in both solos, but the bot lane is what I'm interested in seeing this game.
Yep, me as well. Looks like Fallen Artemis did do the same clear as last time. Not going for a full clear this time. Perhaps might be focusing more
skipping on that golems. I would assume he's skipping out on golems because he wants to get early pressure onto this bot scuttler. He knows that he's strong enough to win 1v1s against the Zac this time. Last game, he was playing Olaf, and he was into the Graves. Graves certainly has a lot more dangerous early trading potential than that Zac does, and Olaf gets way lower in the jungle than Graves does. So, certainly feeling a little bit more confident. Going to take this blue buff to regen some mana, and then certainly wants to be fighting this Zac early on. He knows he's stronger.
Yep, definitely. And he does have the priority in mid, as Intexi goes and lays down a ward. Catches that the chicken camp is gone, so they know Zac's got to be somewhere.
Good idea of where Warwick is. A little bit of trading going on in bot lane, but certainly not going to be enough to dissuade Fallen Artemis from just coming in here. Warwick, he knows that he's at a disadvantage here. He knows that he wants to avoid Artemis wherever possible, so he's going to path back up towards the top side. Wow, the flash play from Golden Toad, but he misses the combo.
Alistar combo is harder to hit than it looks.
That's going to be a gank onto mid lane, actually. First blood coming out onto Intexi for Optimus Prime. Gonna be ahead in this lane for the first time this series.
Yeah. The Ignite does pay off, as well as the gank.
Yeah, we also did see another kill onto Pixie Storm in the bot lane, so it is going to be 1-1 total. Did not see who ended up with the first blood there.
I believe it was the cannon.
All right, well, that's going to be a significant advantage then. Looking to maybe pressure that in mid lane a little bit. The early Zac gank, certainly nothing to scoff at. He can come in from, even before he gets that E-maxed, he's got a decent amount of range that he can come in with that knock-up, and you got to respect it.
Yep, for sure. I can't imagine that Intexi's going to let that happen again, but who knows, maybe the cannon...
Looking, actually, finding Warwick here, stealing away some of his jungle camps. Actually, that's going to be, a Blood King can put out a lot of CC here. He can consistently slow him. He's going to have the Twisted Advance, and texting is coming up. I don't know how Warwick gets out of this. He's had a lot of threat. The Twisted Advance is still up. That's a failed flash that would have carried the Twisted Advance with it anyway, and this is going to be a kill onto Warwick. Big misplay trying to overstay for those golems.
And they give it over to Intexi. Really nice play there from Omega Gaming Syndicate. Should do really well with that red buff in lane. Could have given it to the Graves as well, would have been another good target, but the fact that they had the restraint to give it over to their mid laner for roaming up there was really good team play.
For sure. Great call by OGS. Blood King just knew that there's a chance that Warwick could be trying to counter jungle. He goes and he finds them, and the whole team immediately collapses. They know that they're more powerful than Zac, assuming that they can get the numbers advantage, that they can get their champions present in the first place, and they know that Maokai has tons of CC that he can just keep putting up to hold them in place.
Yeah, and he doesn't even lose too much for it. Down a bit of CS, but still going fairly even in this lane with the Shen.
Zac coming for another gank mid lane, but in Intexi, he's wise to it now. It's happened to him once already, and he knows that Zac wants to take that red buff back from him, so he's just going to throw down the Malefic Visions to clear the wave and back up. Looks like we got some action around the dragon here. Fallen Artemis trying to take this early, but Warwick does not want to give it up. But it looks like he's just going to be forced to. That's going to be the smite coming through for Artemis, but that's an engage coming out of Dreadnought. They're going to be fighting here. Forced to flash away from the Galio. A flash in from Optimus Prime, and everybody flashes out immediately. He's blown up during his ultimate. Far too low to be going for those kind of plays. Artemis chasing down here onto the rest of Omega Gaming Syndicate, or with the rest of Omega Gaming Syndicate, as Dreadnought loses the dragon, loses a kill, and are just forced back. Might even be more here as Warwick is forced to EOA, getting caught out a little bit. They're going to be trying to re-engage here. He does not have the Zac passive. He's burning down. He's at no HP, but is managing to walk away. The rest of them are going to be fighting as they push Dreadnought back under their turret. No more kills, but a little bit of a show of strength.
Yeah, really good sequence there for Omega Gaming Syndicate. Got the dragon, and nothing really burned on their side aside from maybe a few flashes.
Brownie's got to be a little scared here. Golden Toad is going to be able to use that Hex Flash and get under turret if he wants to, and Brownie's incredibly low.
Yeah, they do have the Shen ultimate available to protect them, but probably wouldn't want to blow it unless there's a chance of a return kill.
Sure. Taking a look at the CS here, we can actually see there's a pretty substantial lead that's been accrued for Ridley Prime in this top lane. Just using the early game Shen against the Maokai, who is struggling with some mana issues, just trying to bully him and take a CS advantage where he can. 2-level lead for Ridley, down to a 1-level lead now, but Ridley's actually so low and he's down in items, he gets engaged on incredibly early. He might have to be blowing the flash here, but no, he's just going to walk away.
Yep. Blood King did get the early base off, did TP back into lane, so he did have the item advantage, as you say, but not quite the damage to pick up the solo kill onto Ridley.
Yeah. Ridley's got the TP as well, so you're just going to expect him to trade that here. Optimus Prime coming up aggressively, trying to trade with that E, get the energy back from hitting it onto Intexi. Golden Toad looking for the gank here. He lands the Ouster combo this time, but there's no follow-up. Intexi has no mana.
Just showing a little presence in the lane. Support's got to roam every once in a while. Oh, ultimate.
Oh, here we go. Here's an all-in from Kennen. He knows that Intexi has no mana. This is going to be a solo kill for Optimus Prime. Big plays.
Yeah. Bit of a misplay there from Syndicate. I felt like Golden Toad should have just maybe stayed in the lane, helped usher his mid laner to crashing that wave in.
Yeah, no, Intexi just relying on that lost chapter and the mana regen. Oh, there's a dive coming out in bot lane. It's going to be under the turret onto Twisty, trading 1-for-1. Pixie just not tanky enough, even with that aftershock, to survive under the turret. But now there's a big fight going on here in the top side. They're going to be trading back kills, one onto the either side. Golden Toad going to be going down. Ridley Prime trying to run away here as fast as he can. It's going to be across the map, a 2-for-2.
Yeah, really scattered fight there from Omega Gaming Syndicate. Not really quite focusing the same people, but ends up with still small advantages for them in some areas.
Definitely something to keep an eye on at this point, though, is that Fallen Artemis now has 3 kills on this Graves. He's going to be recalling soon to get some more some more armor pen, rather, and he's going to be incredibly powerful in these fights. Warwick is not going to be tanky for a long time as he's been put pretty far behind, and Graves is just going to rip right through these members of Dreadnought.
Yep, for sure. Got a nice lead for himself. It also did manage to pick up the Rift Herald and has the empowered recall with it. Goes back, buys his warrior enchantment. Now he's going to be, as you say, hitting pretty hard.
He does also have the Rift Herald, which you're going to assume he wants to get used within the next couple of minutes. Golden Toad getting engaged on here from Pixie Storm. Warwick is here as well, but they have none of their damage dealers. There's not really a lot of threat coming out. Still going in, trying to engage here on for Optimus Prime, who's looking to use his ultimate, but has no flash, he does have Proto Belt, but just not going to be able to find the engage he was looking for. Really trying to find plays Dreadnought is off of this early advantage they have on their Kennen. Kennen can be so powerful once he's hit that level 6 spike. With the early damage coming out of Kennen Ultimate is really unexpected for a lot of players. Clearly was unexpected for Intexi in this lane, as he was caught out and solo killed earlier. And here we go, another one to Proto Belt into the Kennen Ultimate. Tons of damage, going to guarantee that... Oh, there's a flash over from Warwick. The ult trade... But it's going to end up with Intexi going down yet again. But Brownie traded right back onto in the bot lane. Golden Toad getting a good engage here. Ridley Prime coming in with the teleport, going to be taunting through, but it's 2v3 and none of them deal any damage. They're just going to have to be forced to back off.
Yeah, another sequence of events. Some good, another great gank coming out of Dreadnought on the mid lane, and then a counter gank on the bot lane from Mega Gaming Syndicate. And now the Rift
both
Herald
lanes just attacking where they're powerful. Here comes the Rift Herald, going to be dropped down into bot lane, but it's going to be met with a counter engage. Ridley Prime in 1v3, just not able to survive here. He's going to be going down. And now you have to wonder, can Warwick and Pixie Storm manage to survive against this Rift Herald? They managed to take it down. And now it's going to be Omega Gaming Syndicate looking to start up this dragon.
Yeah, you have to imagine they should be able to get it pretty freely if they choose to do so, knowing that the members of Dreadnought were low and they most likely had to base.
For sure. Better safe than sorry. They're just looking around with these Scryer's Blooms, trying to clear out any wards that they find, but they're just going to go right back to clearing. They don't want to mess around here with Warwick potentially jumping in from really far away and getting another smite steal.
Right. Yeah, and meanwhile in the top lane, Blood King has just been wailing on this turret the entire time. Is actually going to break the first tower here.
That's first turret gold over to Mega Gaming. That's not even where they use the Rift Herald, but just managing to eke out an advantage over time, taking advantage of the fact that Shen is absent when he goes to teleport bot lane, and managing to get themselves first turret gold.
Yep. Should do nicely to catch up Blood King back up in this matchup. Now has completed Sunfire. So he's going to be pretty tanky now. Should be doing pretty well for himself in this matchup. And he still has... Oh, no, he actually doesn't have teleport available just yet, but it is coming up soon.
Everybody's starting to group around Dragon here. Optimus Prime, once again, he wants to be using that ultimate wherever he can, so he's hanging around in river. They're going to be starting up the Dragon here. They have their jungler coming in over the wall. Fallen Artemis is on the other side of the map. This is going to be a Dragon over to Dreadnought Blaze. Well played by them.
Yeah. Nice use of the base timings on bot lane there to start it up as... Oh.
Sure. Oh, that's a long-range Ash ultimate, but it's going to immediately be met with the cleanse. Galio trying to get in here and deal as much damage as he can, but he's just going to be CC'd up longer and longer until he goes down. Meanwhile, Fallen Artemis going for a gank here onto the Shen, dealing tons of damage as he's fed on this Graves, picks up his 4th kill of the game, and that's a huge advantage across the map, both at top and bottom for Omega Gaming Syndicate, starting to turn this game around.
Yeah, excellent outplay there from Twisty, using the cleanse and the ultimate to buy himself time and space to get free from the Galio engage.
And there's going to be another gank here onto Intexi that, once again, the Kennen ultimate just dealing so much damage, able to hold him in place for so long. The Malzahar shield was up, but it doesn't matter. It only blocks one spell. And now here comes the Galio ultimate coming in, trying to prevent this dive, and it's going to be successful. Golden Toad forced to flash, tanks an extra turret shot, actually has to use the stopwatch to not die, and the rest of the dive goes on. Blood King is now tanking. It's going to be a Shen ultimate. It's a party in the bot lane as Brownie and Pixie Storm both falling away here. Tons of damage coming in. Blood King forced to flash away. Now they're fighting onto Twisty. Twisty taking tons of damage. You're going to be taunted up. He's likely going to go down. He goes down. It's Dreadnought Blaze. They're turning around this fight. They're going to be picking up Blood King here. It's a 2-for-0, and they're chasing onto Golden Toad. Pixie going to have this taunt up soon. You're going to assume he's going to be able to pick up this kill, but here comes Fallen Artemis. He does so much damage. He's going to be coming through here. He can blow up this entire team if he wants to. Here's a turnaround from Golden Toad. Big pickup here onto him. Now another kill onto Brownie. It's 2-for-0. Golden Toad going to be going down, but does it even matter? Artemis trying to fight it out, but so much damage coming out of Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime going to take him down, but Fallen Artemis picks up another kill onto Ridley Prime. Trying to back away here, dealing as much damage as he can, but he's going to lose this 1v1 in a huge fight for both teams on the bot side.
Yeah, what a bloodbath in the bot lane. Bit of an overextension. So many tools, like we said in the champ select, so many disengage tools for the side of Dreadnought that they use perfectly there to stop the dive coming in and get a counter engage themselves.
Yeah, you know, we said in Champion Select, Omega has all of these disengaged tools, but if they're the ones doing the engages, if they're the ones doing the turret dives, then these engaged tools out of Dreadnought just become engaged tools of their own. The Galio ultimate, the Shen ultimate can be just as easily used to protect against dives from the opponent as they can to create your own dives.
Exactly, yeah. Overall, pretty good fight for both teams. They do have the gold where they want to. Ash Arrow does go wide.
Going to be fishing for another Ashe ultimate here onto Twisty. Pretty good. Knowing the timing that his cleanse was down, I support that. I support the decision to fish for that kind of Ashe ultimate when you know that cleanse is gone and you know that you would be able to pick up a kill if it happened.
Definitely good to be proactive in the Ashe lane, especially when you see him alone.
Ooh, but Golden Toad all over the map, coming in onto Ridley Prime. Ridley Prime does not expect the support to be up here, and he's just going to be going down here. A kill for Blood King. Well played by Golden Toad on the big roam top.
Yeah. Well played from Golden Toad, and well played from Twisty, being able to survive in the lane 1v2.
Yeah, he's been 1v2 in this lane for a while now, and he's actually up in CS. It's producing quite the difference here. They just are not able to exert that amount of pressure without the Ashe ultimate, and if they aren't hitting the Ashe ultimate to go for these crazy dives, then Twisty's happy to discharge Qs. And Texi goes for the flash Malzahar ultimate, but does not seem to quite get it in time, as Hippoptimus Prime is able to flash away, and it looks like there's going to be no kills as a result.
Yeah, really nice attempt. Oh, and the ultimate.
There's the ultimate onto them, but it looks like he can't actually get under to follow up on it. And Texi going a little low. All right, and now here comes the Zac actually coming in to pick up the kill. Quite the botched dive coming out of Omega Gaming here, and Hippoptimus Prime wants to capitalize on it. He channels the Kennen ultimate. Big taunt out of Ridley. They're all trying to back off, but they just cannot get enough damage onto Fallen Artemis. They want to shut this man down so much, but they just can't. Blood King pushing up. He's so aggressive. He's so tanky, but not enough to 1v3. He's going to back away. That's going to be it. Oh, actually, it's not. Warwick's going in, diving in. He knows he has the Galio ultimate, but he's not able to hold him in it for long enough. They're not going to be able to land this taunt, and that's just going to be the Galio ultimate wasted.
Yeah, you can see Dreadnought are definitely looking for these plays to counteract what Syndicate are going for, but just not able to work out in that situation.
They certainly looked more practiced on this style of engage comp than they did in the first game, though. They really seem to know that they can be forcing these plays in unexpected locations, and they're trying to get them wherever they can. They know they can defend against dives like they did in the bot lane and get big wins there, and they know that they can just surprise people with how many people they have and where they're coming from. They've killed Intexi 5 times, most of the time off of Zac ganks, coming from unexpected angles with that long-range elastic slingshot.
Yeah, I believe every single time, actually, Zac was there for one of those Malzahar deaths. I could be wrong, but yeah, does seem to be a correlation there.
Yeah. All right, Golden Toad looking up into the jungle, just trying to clear away some vision. Everybody's here to fight around this third dragon. It's 1-1 in dragons. Not going to be hugely influential, but both teams want to be stacking this up. Here we go. It's engaged comp versus disengaged comp in a full 5-on-5 team fight. Ridley is going to be top lane, but he has both teleport and Shen ultimate. He has a lot of ways to get in here. He can get in here in whatever way he wants, but they are just being forced back. Oh, the flash into the snare. Pixie Storm, absolute heartbreak there as he's engaged back onto, and now it's a 4v5 team fight. Big Kennen ultimate coming out, dealing lots of damage onto the members of Omega Gaming, but they're forced back. Twisty dealing so much damage, but now he's alone. He no longer has a front line to defend him, so he's taking tons of damage. Blood King has to be forced back. Fallen Artemis is dealing tons of damage here. They're going to end up winning the fight. Big turnaround for Omega Gaming. Warwick tier just not going to be able to do enough. Ace for Omega Gaming Syndicate.
What a crazy team fight. Wow. Just to start it off, the Grasping Roots managing to stuff the engage out of Pixie Storm. Wow. Actually crazy stuff.
Hugely important, by the way. If they had been able to layer a big taunt from Pixie Storm onto that Kennen ultimate, the fight was close as it was. You got to believe Omega Gaming can't survive that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If that taunt would have managed to capture 2, even 3 people, that fight could have been completely different. So really nice timing on the Grasping Roots there to stop that from coming in.
Yeah. Easy to point out who died there, but what's also important is who survived and who picked up all those kills. Fallen Artemis, now 8-1-7. huge in this game. Has the Black Cleaver completed, has the Serrated Dirk to try to blow through some of these squishier targets like Ashe and Kennen. Going to be very dangerous in these upcoming fights.
Yeah, he's a complete monster on this Graves right now. Very hard to kill him as well, but he's doing tons of damage for his team.
We mentioned that it was a risk to let Fallen Artemis get one of his strong carry picks like this, and while, yeah, they did focus 3 bans onto him, just having the counter pick and choosing to go into a weaker jungle matchup with the Zac into the Graves might be the final nail in the coffin for Dreadnought here, as Fallen Artemis is just absolutely massive on this champion.
Yeah, and CS lane's on the side of Omega Gaming Syndicate in just about every lane. Even though the Malzahar has been doing quite a bit of dying, he's still got a lot of CS advantage.
Okay, we got an engage coming here onto... Ooh, that's a missed Ashe ultimate. It's going to stop their engage, but now it looks like Hipoptimus Prime is caught out. He's in a 1v3 situation. He's already blown the Kennen ultimate. He's definitely going to be going down here. He's trying to escape, trying to use the Proto Belt, but it's not going to be enough. Kill for Golden Toad on the Alistair.
Yeah, you gotta love it. The kill hungry support was trying. It looks like he was trying to give it over to Twisty, but just had to make sure to secure that kill for himself.
And that whole time, Intexi's splitting bottom. Intexi's 1-6. He knows he's not as heavily involved in this game as he was last game, so he just tells his teammates, "Hey, look, I've got the teleport. I'm gonna sit bot lane. I'm gonna clear out these minions, and if you guys find a kill, you find a kill. As long as you don't get engaged on, you're good." Blood King making that happen. Now, once again, just Pixie aggressively pushing up and ending up caught out. It's just, you can't force those engages there. You're already 4v5 on the map. If Optimus Prime just respawned.
Yeah, a bit of a overreach there from Pixie Storm, and gets hard punished by the Malzahar ulti. And now it looks like Omega Gaming Syndicate are starting up the Baron.
Yeah, and they certainly can. Kennen ultimate is still on cooldown from when he got caught out earlier. They have no team fighting tools. There's no Galio ultimate because Galio's dead. There's no Kennen ultimate because it's on CD, but I don't know if they're aware of that, actually. They're treating it with a lot of respect. They're scared of getting Kennen ultimate.
Yeah, Toad did get chunked down quite a bit. Down below half HP.
Gonna have to give up on the Baron here. Don't want to coin flip the game on a potential steal from Warwick. Probably can't keep him out. You could try to reactively Alistair headbutt the Zac out of the pit if he goes for the steal, but that's the kind of skill check you don't want to force if you don't have to. They're in a winning position on Omega Gaming. They have a 7k gold lead. They've got to be at least tacitly aware of that and not going to take any unnecessary risks.
Yeah, definitely not. Goes for the safer play, decides back up. Reset, spend their gold a little bit. We do have another item coming in for Fallen Artemis. He has the I can't remember what that item's called.
For Fallen Artemis, the new one, the Umbral Glaive, and that's Ridley Prime getting caught out while I look at what Umbral Glaive's called.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, and that's going to be a pick over the wall onto Intexi, or from Intexi. Hipoptimus Prime did not realize that he could be ultied from there. Over the wall. Held in place. Has to blow the flash, too, and ends up still caught out and dead.
Yeah, now it looks like Syndicate is having their sights set on Baron once again, now with 2 picks on the map.
Yeah, once again, if anything, this is a better fight than last time. Ridley Prime, 10 seconds away from being able to teleport and join in. Hipoptimus Prime, out of the 2 primes that are missing, doesn't even have teleport. So won't be able to join this at all. The Grasping Roots are coming in to try to force away the team. Golden Toad absolutely willing to just go mano-a-mano here, try to force out the Zac in any way possible, dealing out as much CC as he can. That's red team is slain Baron Nashor. Dreadnought Blaze wants the fight here. They're all going into the pit. That's going to be a huge Galio ultimate, trying to force them back. They've actually lost so much health onto Omega Gaming Syndicate. They're going to be trying to back off here, and Texi getting damaged, but Twisty is completely untouched. Twisty dealing so much damage across the entire team of Dreadnought Blaze. Zac is going into Bloblets. It's only Hipoptimus Prime left alive, and the only reason is because he wasn't in the fight.
Yep, and Fallen Artemis didn't go down there either, taking a lot of the focus from that team fight, but manages to live there, manages to skirt his way out of the Galio ultimate, and yeah, him and Twisty are doing tons of damage.
Yeah, no, Dreadnought forced to split their focus there between Fallen Artemis and Intexi. Both targets end up falling quite low, but they aren't actually able to take down either one.
Hmm.
And when all that's going on, yes, Fallen Artemis is very scary. Yes, he's 9-1 on Graves. Yes, he has 3 items. But Twisty is still playing Varus. As he's getting those procs off, as he's getting kills and resetting Varus passive, he will completely carry a fight on his own. He's not afraid to do that. He's got his Goonsus, he's got a Blade of the Ruin King. He can tear through tanks and squishies alike. You got to be able to stop that.
Yep. Yeah, Len is no slouch on the Varus. Another pick of his that, even though it's not too meta anymore, he's comfortable picking it up whenever he feels the need to, and this game is surely showing us why.
Yeah, definitely keeping some of that disengage power. And really, the disengage did not work out for Omega Gaming there. They got forced into the pit. The Dreadnought was able to pinch them in there, collapse on them, get a big Galio ultimate covering the entire pit, but it just wasn't enough. The gold difference is really what matters there more than the comp difference. Even when Omega Gaming can't execute a disengage like they want, even when Dreadnought does get the kind of engage that they want, where they have Zac in there, they have Shen in there, they have Galio in there, and they're all CCing people and protecting, it's just not enough when there's a 10k gold difference.
Yeah, definitely not. Looks like Mega Gaming Syndicate with this Baron buffed up team, they're looking to siege on
And
the
here
mid
goes
tower.
the engage. Warwick is heading in 1v3. The rest of his team is coming up behind him. They don't have the Galio ultimate to follow up, so he's going to get blown up instantly. Here comes the fight. Front to back is not how a Dreadnought wants to be fighting this, and it's how they're forced to fight it. They're going to be clean aced. 5-0. Never had a chance.
Yep.
The GGs come out in all chat. This is going to be the end. Omega Gaming Syndicate going to take this series 2-0. Going to start off the fall season 2-0, or 1-0 for the series score. Definitely a good start to them in this group.
For sure. And what a performance from Syndicate. The whole team playing really well in sync. Even though Intexi didn't have the best of second games, he definitely was very useful and turned it up in the late game.
Yeah, no, every member of Omega Gaming coming through at some point in this series, pulling their share of the weight. Definitely a team to watch out for the rest of the season.
Hello, everybody. I am back. Sorry, it was a little quiet there. Let's just check these damage charts real quick before we cut
Big
the tape here.
damage coming out.
Yeah, Fallen Artemis went absolutely berserk this game. 11-1, 25 kill participation.
For sure. And you can see as the game went on, though, his damage was pretty much almost matched by Twisty, who just was able to get a lot of free fire in those fights, while Fallen Artemis was able to take up all the aggro.
Yeah, what a great series from Omega Gaming Syndicate again.
Yep. That's all we have for you guys today. We will be back. What's today? Thursday. Nothing. We'll be back Saturday with Omega Gaming Tempest in LHG Academy League. They're looking to improve to a 2-0 2-0 record. And then going into next week, I think we might potentially have a full week of streams. A lot of teams starting up and a lot of leagues starting up. So stay tuned for that. If you want to follow our Twitter, all of the updates regarding streams will be there. But that's about it. I just want to say thanks to my wonderful co-casters, Vicro and Gordo. Anything to add before I sign us out?
Not much. Happy to be here. This is my first cast in this league, so looking forward to more.
Oh, awesome,
Yeah,
guys.
just another fun cast with the boy Ivar and my new boy Gordo. Hopefully, I'll be back sometime in the future to cast some more games.
Yeah, you're the backup, the amazing backup that we have.
I'm the backup caster.
You're the guy we call in when nobody's around. But I do appreciate
we
it.
respect backups here. We were an inch away from having to use a backup on one of the teams in this game.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Shout out to Sam Time. All right, that's all we have for you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back on Saturday.